Good.
Hi, I'm here with, can I have your name please?
Iris Thomas.
Iris Thomas, and can you tell us a little bit more? Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit more about your nephew and the story behind what happened to him?
Yes, my nephew Martin Hernandez was killed March 3rd of this year by Anaheim PD. He was shot once in the back of the head. He was unarmed. He looks like your typical Mexican man, you know, and basically they racial profiled my nephew and shot and killed him, you know, and we're out here today. I'm out here with my parents, my niece, all my children, you know, asking for justice for him because they won't even look at his case because they say he was a known gang member. You know, the chief of police, you know, they've been intimidating the streets where he was killed at, you know, along with the streets where Manuel Diaz was killed at, you know, and it's basically we're out here to call a stop to police brutality, you know, to open an eye to what's going on out here in Anaheim. You know, the main focus is Disneyland when the main focus should be the streets and what's going on with the people here in Anaheim.
And you're here in front of Disneyland. Can you tell us a little bit more about why we're here in front of Disneyland? What are the demands that you have? What's the connection behind Disney and the Anaheim Police Department?
Disneyland pretty much funds the Anaheim PD. You know, they give them donations. You know, they're pretty much on their payroll. You know, Disneyland says jump and the cops are all how high. You know, and because of that how high, you know, 6, 7, 8 murders are happened this year from Anaheim PD. So basically we're here to boycott at Disneyland, you know, and just open the public's view and open the eyes, you know, to Disneyland and what's going on in Anaheim.
Are there any demands that you have specifically for the Anaheim Police Department? Anything that...
Basically what we're calling for is to resign the chief of police. Okay. You know, that's basically what we want is the chief of police resigned. You know, he's covering up for his cops and it needs to stop. When my nephew was killed, they got paid vacation. You know, they got a paid leave of absence and this is what needs to stop.
And you're born and raised in Anaheim? You're from here?
I was actually born in New York, but I lived in Anaheim 20 years. I moved out here when I was 9 years old. I barely moved out of Anaheim 3 years ago.
And so is this very common here? Is this something?
It wasn't so much murderers back then, you know. Anaheim PD was very corrupt, you know. Back then it was a lot of drug dealing going on in Anaheim before Anaheim was, Disneyland was up and coming. You know, there's many officers, you know, that used to go out there, they used to rape the prostitutes, rob the drug dealers, you know, and stuff. And that was back then. When I was 14 years old, I was slammed on a police car and burnt my whole chest. And Anaheim PD never did nothing about that cop. You know, I was harassed as a youngster. My father, you know, they planted him with drugs to get him off the streets, you know, because we wouldn't go away silent. We've never gone away silent, and I'm going to stand here for justice for my nephew and for the other families that have lost their loved ones.
Have you seen any of the coverage, like from what happened Tuesday, the City Hall?
I did.
What are your reactions, your reflection on what's going on right now?
I don't really believe there should be violence, you know, from the people back to the police officers because that's not going to solve anything. They're going to come back 10 times as hard. And it's their word that's going to stand instead of ours, you know. They're going to be like, oh, just like they're trying to justify saying, you know, Manuel Diaz had a gun, oh, he went for his waist. So what? What was he pulling up his pants or something? I mean, really, did they have to kill him? They didn't have to kill my nephew. He was pulling up his pants and they shot him in the back of the head. Really? You know, they're going to be able to stand. All it takes is their word. Against the people? No. I'm here to stand up for the people.
And for the people that are from all over the world, this will go on YouTube, what do you want them to do? What do you want them to know?
I want them to boycott Disneyland. I want tourists to stop to Disneyland. Once tourists stop and they're losing their money, then Anaheim is going to listen. And that's what I want. I want Disneyland to stop their revenue. Once this revenue stops, they need to put the money back into the streets where it belongs.
Anything else you want to share with us? Anything else you want to tell us?
I'm just looking for my nephew's case to be looked at. Nobody will look at his case, you know, and I'm looking for somebody, the Attorney General, you know, somebody, State Attorney General, somebody, look at my nephew's case and see that these cops are murderers and get them off the streets. I don't say that all cops are corrupted, but Anaheim got
another thing else that's in this city. It needs to stop. Anaheim PD. Anaheim needs to be been on Disneyland's payroll for over 20 years. What does that mean? Does that mean that because of the revenue of Anaheim that
But I know over the last 20 years, Anaheim PD has always been under Disneyland's payroll. They were to arrest them when I lived out here, they're going to help them.